So I'd say my passion for writing actually first started somewhere between the first and second grade because during Fridays, the last 30 minutes of class, our teacher would give us time to kind of do whatever we wanted. So most students would play some video games that they brought over. But during that time, I mostly liked to write short stories. And then during the pandemic, because everyone was closed in their houses for a while,
Sure, yeah.
I decided to pick up on my writing habit again. And then that's how I got into writing and I wrote my first book.
So at a time when a lot of people develop bad habits during the pandemic, you were like, I'm just going to start writing some books.
Yeah.
At what point were you like, writing a book is a thing that I think I could do?
I never really thought of it that way. I mostly just thought I was writing short stories for me. But I remember one day around the time I was finishing up my first book, A Link Between Two Worlds, it was when my mom was coming back from work and I showed it to her. And then she started saying that my writing was really good and I should publish it.
Interesting. Okay. What kind of stuff do you write about?
Mostly fantasy fiction centered around like creatures with mythical powers or magical planets in space and stuff.
What draws you to that?
Well, for my first book, A Link Between Two Worlds that I wrote during the pandemic, I always had a fascination for the galaxy, and I always thought that since the universe is so big, there has to be something else out there. So I decided to write a sort of magical fantasy sci-fi series.
Okay, and as I mentioned, like you write these books in English and French, is that right?
Yeah.
And do you write them in English first, or how does that part of the process work?
Well, at first, when I was writing my first book, I wrote, for example, one chapter in English, then one chapter in French. But now I mostly just write the whole book in English first, then I translate it in French.
Okay, that's really interesting. So you started with the first book. You're up to 7 now, is that right?
Yeah.
What kind of reaction have you been getting to these books?
Well, a lot of people at my book signings, when I sign books for them, say that the story is very interesting and they're looking forward to the second volume.
That's great. So what does it feel like when you have a book signing and a bunch of people show up who are fans of your work?
Well, at first I felt a little nervous because I've never done a book signing before. But now, since I do them regularly, it makes me happy that a lot of people want to read my books.
So I also mentioned off the top that you decided to donate sales of your books to UNICEF. Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, why do you do that?
Well, I just think it's good to give back to the community and to help people in need.
That's great. And then do you donate all of the money that you make from the books?
Not all
cause?
of it, but like
Yeah.
a good percentage.
A good chunk. Hey, okay. And so I mentioned that latest book, Whispering Willow. What's that about?
Well, Whispering Willow is actually not my latest book,
Okay,
but
okay.
it's my second latest book. But I'll just
Sorry.
say
Yes,
what it's
of course,
about.
Of course, yeah.
So Whispering Willow, it's actually a bilingual book, which is why there's two titles on the front cover. So the official title of it is Whispering Willow, which is in English, and Sol Chuchotant, which is the same thing but in French. And it's about a girl who lost all of her memories, and in order to get them back, she has to go on this quest across her world to find a magical tree called the Whispering Willow.
Okay. And then what's your latest book?
My latest book is actually a book series I wrote. Only the first volume is out right now. And it's called Aspherians, Guardians of the Elements, whereas the French version is Aspheriens, Gardiens des Éléments.
I've got that one in my hand right now.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. When you brought a stack of books with you, like, what do you think when you look at an actual book that you wrote?
I feel very proud and it feels surreal.
It must. I mean, a lot of people say they would like to write a book. A lot of adults say they would like to write a book and are never able to get around to it or are never able to finish even one book. Do you have any advice for people who are trying to get that first book out there?
Well, I'd say to just do it and to keep push through it and try publishing your first book because you never know where it could take you.
And where do you hope this takes you?
I hope my books turn into a movie one day.
Really, hey?
Yeah.
So like, what would you like that to look like?
Well, preferably something animated where there's a bunch of dramatic music and beautiful scenery.
Have you been talking to anyone about that?
Yeah, a little bit, but nothing's really determined yet.
That's fantastic. That's so great. Gabriella, it's really nice to meet you. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
How many, do you just plan on keeping writing and seeing how many books you can put out there?
Yeah.
That's great. Congratulations again, and thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.